There was a time I thought bone strength was just about calcium. I used to eat my dairy, get outside when I could, and figured I was doing enough. That changed when my aunt slipped and fractured her hip, not because of a hard fall, but because her bones were so weak, the doctor said even a small misstep could have done it. Her tests. Critically low vitamin D. That moment hit close. I realized so many of us, especially those over 40, aren't getting enough of this vital nutrient. And without it, calcium can't even do its job. So today, I'm sharing the top foods rich in vitamin D that can help keep your bones strong, your immune system balanced, and your energy levels steady. These are real, natural options backed by science. Stick with me to the end. I'll also share a simple daily tip I use to make sure I never fall behind on my vitamin D again. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want more natural, no-nonsense health tips like this one. Let's get started. If there's one food I always recommend for vitamin D, it's fatty fish. Think salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These are some of the richest natural sources of vitamin D you can eat. Why it matters. Just 3 ounces of cooked salmon gives you around 570 IU of vitamin D. That's more than half of your daily recommended intake in one small serving. And it's not just about bones. Fatty fish also contain omega-3 fatty acids, which support heart health and reduce inflammation, making it a 2-in-1 benefit food. What research says. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, regular consumption of fatty fish can help maintain bone mineral density, especially in older adults. These are how I enjoy fatty fish. I bake salmon with lemon and herbs for dinner at least once a week. Sardines on whole grain toast with avocado is my quick lunch go-to. Canned mackerel works great in salads and rice bowls. Simple, delicious, and nourishing. Eggs are often celebrated for protein, but few people realize that vitamin D is found in the yolk, not the white. So if you're tossing the yolk, you're throwing away your bone-supporting nutrients. How much is in one egg? One large egg yolk gives you about 40 IU of vitamin D. It may not seem like much, but it adds up quickly when you eat eggs regularly. Why it matters. Vitamin D from eggs is particularly valuable if you don't eat fish. And since eggs also contain choline, selenium, and B vitamins, they're a great all-rounder for daily health. What the experts say. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism found that whole egg consumption improved vitamin D status in individuals with low sun exposure. These are how you can eat more eggs. Scrambled or poached with spinach in the morning. Hard-boiled eggs as a midday snack. Egg muffins with veggies baked in advance for a grab-and-go breakfast. Don't fear the yolk, embrace it. Now here's something you might not expect. Certain mushrooms are a natural source of vitamin D. But not just any mushrooms, they must be exposed to sunlight or UV light to synthesize vitamin D2, a plant-based form of the vitamin. Why mushrooms matter. For vegetarians or vegans, UV-exposed mushrooms like maitake, morels, or portobellos are a rare and important plant-based source of vitamin D. How much do they provide? 1 cup of UV-exposed mushrooms can give you anywhere from 150 to 450 IU of vitamin D. Backed by science. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, these mushrooms can provide nearly 100% of your daily vitamin D needs when consumed regularly. These are how I like to use them. Sautéed mushrooms in stir-fry or pasta. Baked on top of homemade pizzas. Added to omelets or sandwiches for an extra boost. Just make sure the label says UV exposed or high in vitamin D. Sometimes, it's hard to get all your vitamin D from natural sources alone, especially if you live in colder climates or avoid animal products. That's where fortified foods come in. What does fortified mean? It means vitamin D has been added to the food during processing. Common fortified foods. Fortified dairy milk and plant milks, like almond, soy, oat. Fortified orange juice. Fortified cereals and oatmeal. How much can you get? 1 cup of fortified milk can give you 100 to 130 IU, depending on the brand. Research backed. The Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health recommends using fortified foods as a reliable source of vitamin D, especially during winter months when sun exposure is limited. These are how I use fortified foods. A bowl of fortified oats with almond milk in the morning. Fortified orange juice with breakfast. Fortified cereal with yogurt or plant milk as a snack. Read your labels, it makes a big difference. This one might remind you of your grandmother, but don't underestimate cod liver oil. It's been used for generations as a rich source of vitamin D and vitamin A. How much D does it offer? Just 1 teaspoon of cod liver oil gives you around 450 IU of vitamin D. And here's the bonus. It's also rich in omega-3s, making it great for your heart, brain, and joints. What studies show? A review in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirmed cod liver oil's benefits in improving bone density and reducing fractures in older adults. These are how I take it. 1 teaspoon in the morning, lemon-flavored varieties make it easier. Capsules if you prefer no taste. Mix with smoothies to mask the flavor. Old remedy, modern benefits. Yes, cheese. While it's not as rich in vitamin D as fatty fish, some cheeses offer a modest amount, plus they help with calcium absorption. Best options include Swiss, cheddar, ricotta. How much is in it? Most hard cheeses contain around 6 to 10 IU per ounce, but eaten regularly, it can contribute significantly. Expert note. The Cleveland Clinic states that while cheese isn't the highest source, it complements calcium intake and offers a complete nutrient package when consumed in moderation. These are how I enjoy cheese. Ricotta on toast with berries and honey. Shredded cheddar in veggie wraps. Swiss in grilled sandwiches with tomato and spinach. Just keep it portion controlled and pair with other vitamin D sources. Okay, this isn't food, but I can't end without talking about sunshine. Your body naturally produces vitamin D when your skin is exposed to UVB rays from the sun. Why it matters? Just 15 to 30 minutes of midday sun exposure a few times a week can produce thousands of IU of vitamin D, far more than most foods. But here's the challenge. Sun exposure varies depending on skin tone, location, season, and time of day. Scientific support. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, moderate sun exposure is one of the most effective and accessible ways to meet your vitamin D needs, especially if food sources fall short. These are how I safely enjoy sun for vitamin D. Step outside for a 15-minute walk without sunscreen during midday. Roll up sleeves or wear shorts to expose more skin. Combine it with exercise for double the benefit. But always be sun safe and avoid overexposure. Now that we've talked about all these amazing vitamin D-rich foods, there's something else we need to talk about: absorption. Because here's the truth, getting vitamin D isn't the end of the story. If your body doesn't absorb and use it properly, it's like pouring water into a bucket with holes. You're doing all the right things but not seeing the results you expected. That's exactly what happened to my cousin Sarah. She was taking vitamin D supplements every day for months, yet her blood levels were still low. The doctor told her it wasn't the vitamin that was missing, it was the other nutrients she wasn't getting alongside it. Let me break it down for you in a super simple way. Magnesium. Magnesium helps activate vitamin D. Without it, vitamin D stays inactive in your body. Think of magnesium like the key that turns on the light. Without it, vitamin D just sits there doing nothing. Sources of magnesium include pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, avocados, black beans. These are how I make sure I get more magnesium. A handful of pumpkin seeds or almonds as snacks. Adding spinach to smoothies or stir-fries. Eating black beans in rice bowls or soups. Vitamin K2. Vitamin D helps you absorb calcium, but vitamin K2 tells that calcium where to go. It directs calcium into your bones and away from places it shouldn't be, like your arteries or soft tissues. Without enough K2, calcium can build up in the wrong areas, which is risky. Good sources of vitamin K2. Natto, a fermented soy food, super rich. Hard cheeses like Gouda and Brie. Grass-fed butter and egg yolks. Chicken thighs and liver. These are how I sneak in vitamin K2. A slice of hard cheese as an afternoon snack. Using grass-fed butter on toast or vegetables. Occasionally eating fermented foods like sauerkraut and natto. If you're not a fan of these foods, some people also take K2 as a supplement, especially -7, but always check with a healthcare provider before doing that. Healthy fats. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, which means it needs fat to be absorbed. If you're taking it with plain water or dry toast, chances are it's going right through you. Healthy fat sources. Olive oil. Avocados. Nuts and seeds. Fatty fish, like we mentioned earlier. These are how I include healthy fats. Drizzling olive oil on salads or roasted veggies. Adding avocado slices to wraps and bowls. Including nuts in oatmeal or yogurt. Even a little bit of fat helps your body absorb vitamin D much better. Zinc and boron. These two minerals aren't talked about as much, but they help your bones and vitamin D metabolism in the background. Zinc helps your body use vitamin D properly, while boron helps prevent vitamin D from being lost too quickly. Sources of zinc. Lentils. Chickpeas. Pumpkin seeds. Eggs. Sources of boron. Prunes. Raisins. Apples. Almonds. These are how I make it easy. A small handful of raisins and almonds mid-morning. Chickpea salads for lunch. Eggs in the morning or evening. You don't need to overthink this. Just pair your vitamin D-rich foods with healthy fats, leafy greens, and magnesium-rich snacks. For example, scrambled eggs, vitamin D, with sautéed spinach, magnesium, in olive oil, fat. A salmon salad with avocado and pumpkin seeds. Fortified oatmeal with almond milk and chia seeds. See how it works together? It's all about synergy. Getting your vitamin D is amazing, but making sure it works for you is what really counts. Now that you know this, you're way ahead of the curve. Now that we've walked through these powerful, vitamin D-packed foods and the nutrients that help them work better, I hope you're seeing just how much control you really have over your bone health. I used to think strong bones only came from drinking milk or taking pills. But now I know, it's about eating smart every single day. It's about giving your body the right tools, and knowing how those tools work together. So just to recap, you've got your vitamin D heroes like salmon, egg yolks, mushrooms, and fortified foods. You've got your support squad, magnesium, vitamin K2, healthy fats, zinc, and boron, that help your body actually absorb and use that vitamin D. And with just a few thoughtful food swaps and habits, you can build stronger bones, prevent weakness as you age, and stay more active and energized. I know this isn't always talked about clearly, especially when it comes to how vitamins really work. But now you've got the knowledge to take action, and you don't need expensive supplements or complicated routines to get started. Just real food, real habits, and a little intention. So, which of these foods are already in your kitchen? And which one will you start adding this week? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if this helped you, please don't forget to like, share this with someone who needs stronger bones, and of course, subscribe for more simple, natural health tips that really work. Your body is your home, feed it what it needs to stay strong. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.